start pitching right away. I start getting calls, then I get the clients, then I get busy with the clients, and I start pitching again. So I don't think that would have been possible without the templates. I don't think it would have been possible without the course. The course gave me a lot of reassurance. LinkedIn is a really powerful tool. I think it's the best social media to be in. Having that expertise from someone who's really familiar with the platform, that is not only teaching you in the course and giving you these templates, but also who's every day on the Slack channel answering all of your questions, right? Because it doesn't matter how detailed the course is going to be, it doesn't really matter how many template examples she can write out, there's always going to be like that one thing you're not sure about. She's there for us, which is, I think, one of the most valuable assets of the course. Just having access to her, having access to someone that has already been tested and tried and who's always there helping us. And not only that, but we also have the community, right? There's so many other writers that are there that we share our experiences. We even share our content. I've shared my content, asking others to please give me constructive criticism, which has also helped me improve not only in the business and my sales, but also in my own writing. My name is Enrico. I grew up in Miami, but now I live in Norway. I moved here a couple of months ago when I decided to start my copywriting journey. I decided to make the leap into copywriting and content writing because I just wanted to live a different lifestyle where I would be able to work remotely, and I also love storytelling. My niche is finance and FinTech. I decided to go into FinTech and finance for just a number of reasons, but primarily it's something I know a lot about, and I'm also really passionate about tech in general. So I thought it was a good match, and it's something that I could speak about from a place of authority. First, I came across Christine with her YouTube channel. I was researching how to become a copywriter, right? Like how to get clients. But something that was not easy was actually the business side of it. Trying to get clients and knowing how to market myself in a way or how to approach clients. I had tried freelancing in the past a couple of times before, actually, through my career, maybe 2 or 3 different times. But I always found myself getting stuck. I would get like maybe 1 or 2 clients, you would do the projects, and then it was very like a feast and famine, right, in between. So I discovered Christine through YouTube because I was really lacking that business side of freelancing. I had already tried finding clients in LinkedIn, so it's something that I knew kind of worked, but I wasn't really good at it. I wasn't sure if I was taking the right approach. I wasn't sure if I was saying the right things. I don't really have a background in sales. And when I came across Christine, I was also looking at a different copywriting course at the time that was, I think it was about the same price. And the other copywriting course actually had a bigger following. And this person was also on YouTube. But what really caught my eye with 30 Days to Pay is I found Christine to be more authentic. Given her background in sales, I figured, she's somebody that it takes a really special skill to sell, I guess. So I really didn't buy the course so much as I bought into Christine and her personality and who she was and her background. And I think it was a great investment. I took the course right away. I did it over the course of a weekend. I didn't waste any time. And I got started with my website. She gave me some really good advice. She used some good advice in the course where she says, just get going with whatever, just get started. And that really was very helpful for me because I'm the kind of person that maybe overthinks things too much and I just always want to get it perfect instead of just getting it done, right? And so that was very helpful. I didn't even get a new domain. I just used an old domain from an old website that I still owned. And I just went with it and I just used that and I started pitching right away. And it wasn't long before I started getting clients. And one of the things that I really liked about the course was the templates. Because I also purchased her kit of templates. And that was very, very helpful for me because I kind of was familiar with the process of how to pitch in LinkedIn, how to find people and so on, but I just wasn't sure if what I was saying was the right thing. And it could be very difficult to test that, right? Because sales is a bit of a numbers game. Having those templates was very, very useful because she already, given her background in sales, she already had these messages written out in a way that she knows they will work, that they were back tested. And to be honest, I haven't done that much pitching because once I get started, I just really get a lot of feedback from the prospects that I'm writing to, and it's been able to, I start pitching right away, I start getting calls, then I get the clients, then I get busy with the clients, then I start pitching again. So I don't think that would have been possible without the templates. I don't think it would have been possible without the course. The course gave me a lot of reassurance. LinkedIn is a really powerful tool. I think it's the best social media to be in. Having that expertise from someone who's really familiar with the platform that is not only teaching you in the course and giving you these templates, but also who's every day on the Slack channel answering all of your questions, right? Because it doesn't matter how detailed the course is going to be, it doesn't really matter how many template examples she can write out, there's always going to be like that one thing you're not sure about. She's there for us, which is, I think, one of the most valuable assets of the course. It's just having access to her, having access to someone that has already been tested and tried and who's always there helping us. And not only that, but we also have the community, right? There's so many other writers that are there that we share our experiences. We even share our content. I've shared my content, asking others to please give me constructive criticism, which has also helped me improve not only in the business and my sales, but also in my own writing. I have a friend that's a copywriter and he was doing well and he was telling me about it, and that's kind of how I got started. How I got my first client was through him. And as soon as I figured, I have to figure out a way to make this sustainable. I have to figure out a way to keep the flow of clients coming in. And I know this is something I don't know. And I immediately decided that, I just wanted to either learn about it in YouTube, where is where I went, or get a course. And I ended up going for the course because given my experience in the past, trying to freelance a couple of times and that not working out, I knew that if I didn't really take this seriously, I didn't make an investment, and I didn't get the right mentors, that I was just going to end up falling off the rails again and going back to a job, something that I didn't want. My wife and I wanted to move to Norway, and I don't speak the language. Of course, I could get a job here where they speak English, but it's just not the same, right? We wanted to live further away from the city. We're really focused on our lifestyle. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see back there, but we have the mountains, beautiful mountains. We live in a really peaceful and beautiful place, and that's all possible because I have this freelance career that I can do remotely. And yeah, it just gives me the freedom to live the life that we want to live. I was really surprised at, I think, how easy it is to get clients when you have the right formula. I've struggled a lot in the past, and I actually tried going in places like Upwork and Fiverr, and it was really demoralizing to be in those places and see the rates that you're being offered. It was just really demoralizing, and I had a lot of doubts at the beginning whether I was going to be able to do this or not, but I was really surprised to know that you could just go on LinkedIn and apply the strategies that the course is teaching you and get replies, and that there's people that are actually interested, and that there's people that actually do get back to you. And obviously it's not everybody, not everybody's going to be a match, but it's a completely different world and the rates are completely different, and there's really no point to being on these websites where people are just competing prices to the bottom, where you don't have to work 20 hours a day just to be able to make rent. As a freelancer, if you just get in with the right clients and people that are really appreciate your work, not someone that's just going on a freelancer's market to sort of try to find the lowest rate. The changes in my business are night and day. Like I said before, I don't have to go to places like Upwork or Fiverr to find my clients, or I don't have to spend excessive amount of times trying to do outreach or even trying to find people to pay to do that kind of stuff. So now I can do this on my own. I can do it effectively, and I don't have to worry so much about the feast and famine that normally freelancers have to deal with, because I have the most important tool in my hands, which is I know how to get clients. And that has not only helped my business, but it's helped me as a person, because it's really given me an incredible amount of trust in the fact that I'm never gonna be out of money, right? I'm never gonna be, now I know, it's like I've been given the fishing rod and I know how to fish, right? And now I know how to find my own. And whether it's writing, because I can apply the same strategies that I'm learning here about sales to video. I can apply them to, content management. I can apply them to operations, to anything it is that I want to sell. I now know how to go on LinkedIn and how to find people that would be willing to pay me for something that I'm good at. So I have no fear. Before I would think like, if I don't get a client soon, maybe I'm gonna have to go get a job, or I'm gonna run through my savings, or I'm gonna start using the credit cards, or whatever it is. Now it's kind of like, I know if I put in the time, I know if I put in the numbers, eventually something is gonna happen, and I'm gonna find my next paycheck. So it really changes my mindset a lot, and that has allowed me to also approach my clients from a different perspective. Before, I was a little bit more like shy to negotiate certain things, or I would lower my rates just to try to get the business. But now I have that confidence that, okay, fine, this is not the only client that's available, right? Like, I have spreadsheets with like hundreds of companies that I could potentially work with that are on my niche, that are perfect matches for me. So coming from that place, I'm able to have a lot more confidence when I'm talking to my clients, and have a lot more confidence in staying strong with my rates and not bending over. I actually think that non-writers could also benefit from this course. It's just a skill, learning how to sell in LinkedIn, learning how to sell yourself. I mean, really anyone, even people that are just not freelancing, people that want to get a job. You could reach out to recruiters, you could reach out to HR departments, right? You could reach out to CEOs, to content managers if you're somebody who's in content. And it's not, you don't need to ask for freelancing work. You need to, you could ask for potentially for permanent work. I mean, and it could be any field, whether you're a writer, photographer, videographer, whatever it is. It's just a skill that works across the board. And so I think that's the most valuable thing that I've gotten from this program. And would I recommend it? I think, Christine, I think you should change it and make it, for all freelancers, not just writers. So I'm the kind of person that has a difficult time sometimes making investments in my business if I don't know. So my money archetype is an accumulator, and what that means is, if I don't have like certainty that it's going to get me the result that I want, I'm not going to spend on it, right? And so it took me a couple of days before I pressed the buy button on the course. I definitely thought about it well. I did a lot of research. I watched a lot of Christine's content to make sure I was making the right investment. But even so, towards the end, I was almost like, I didn't want to do it, just because when you're not making any money, or when you're making very little money, and you have to spend on a course, and a course is not going to change your life, right? Like, a course is going to help you, and it's going to help you get there. But at the end of the day, you also have to put in the work, and it's not something that happens overnight. It could take a couple of days, a couple of weeks before you could see some results. So it was really hard for me to make that choice. But what helped me and what motivated me to press the click button was my previous experience as a freelancer, and having failed and having to go back to a job. that I didn't want to do. And, having had that experience more than once, this time I was a little bit like, you know what, I'm either going all in and doing this the right way, or I might just not do it at all. I might start looking for job applications right away. So that's what got me into spending the money in the course, and actually it was so worth it. And again, it's not just the knowledge that you get from the course and the templates, but it's also like the Slack group. I find the Slack group is one of the best things about the course. Not only do you have access to Christine, and she's always sharing her wisdom with everybody, but you also have this community of writers that are going through the same stages that you are. So I follow a lot of writers in LinkedIn and Instagram and social media, but a lot of these writers are already like, their business has matured, right? Like they're already at a different stage. They're way more advanced than I am. Maybe they've been doing this for so many years. And so sometimes it's a little bit difficult for me to build rapport or to really get good advice from them, because it's just not the same thing. They're not at the same stage. And maybe when they started, the market was under a different condition. So having hundreds of people there, I don't know how many people are in the Slack group, but having all that community there that we can share our experiences with each other, we can help each other, we can review each other's work. It's just so useful. And it also helps to see what happens with other niches, right? Because I'm in the finance and FinTech niche, but then there are people that are, maybe in the technology niche, and you see what's happening in each one of them. And you see how each different niche handles content, right? Because the rates are different. Sometimes the processes, the requirements are different, and it's good to see that, and it's good to learn a little bit from things that are outside your own box. So when I was comparing Christine's course at the beginning with somebody else's course, and they had the same value and kind of similar content, like the one thing that made me help my decision was Christine's background in sales, and she just seemed so much more trustworthy, and I think I made the right decision there, because really the amount of knowledge that we've gained from her, not only me but everybody else I think on the course, from outside was taught in the course, and the calls that we do every month and just what we discuss in the Slack group, that's been priceless.
Now, if you want to know the story about how I actually got on LinkedIn and built my freelance business step by step, you're going to want to download my LinkedIn guide below. I tell you a little bit about how I transitioned and replaced my 9-to-5 income with a freelance income. It's a free downloadable guide for you, and you can learn how to set yourself up on LinkedIn step by step. See ya.